Yes, good morning class. Let's proceed with our another topic in the writing skill, which is information transfer. Before we proceed further, I would want to inform you that in the videos at the end after the explanation, the specimens have been given to explain you the concept very clearly, and I want you all to note down that into your notebooks. So children, let's begin with our topic, information transfer. Let us understand the meaning. Information transfer means what? Okay, so information transfer is a process of transferring information from one person or location to another. Okay, now in writing skill we do it in a particular manner. We have a particular format. Now in that, what is that particular manner? The first one is verbal to non-verbal. Let us understand these concepts very clearly, children. First way of transferring information is verbal to non-verbal, and second way is non-verbal to verbal. Now let us understand each of them in detail. Now verbal to non-verbal, when you are expected to transfer information from verbal to a non-verbal. In verbal to non-verbal, a paragraph is given which has to be transferred into non-verbal format. Okay, a paragraph, that means verbal means a paragraph is given to you, maybe 8 to 10 lines or 12 lines. A paragraph would be given to you related to a particular information, and that information is to be converted into non-verbal format. Now non-verbal format means what? You have to put that information in the various forms shown on the chart. The non-verbal information includes, it can be a web diagram, it can be a tree diagram, it can be a flow chart, it can be a pie chart, or it can be a table. So using any of these. Now what you have to exactly convert that information into, that will be clearly mentioned in the question. Like read the following paragraph and convert the information into a web diagram or a tree diagram or a flow chart or a pie chart or the table. It would state that use the information in the tabular form. So accordingly this statement would be mentioned in the question, children. So you have to be very clear with what is web diagram, what is tree diagram, flow chart, pie chart and a table, and then that paragraph has to be converted into this type of information, children. Okay, so before we proceed further, we'll wait here for a break for a minute and we shall continue later. Yes class, let's continue and let us understand what is it to convert non-verbal information to the verbal one. Now non-verbal to verbal means to write a paragraph based on the diagram or a statistical data given. No extra information must be added to it. Only the given data must be converted into paragraph. Giving a title is a must. Now here the information is given to you in a diagram form. It can be a web diagram or it can be a flow chart. It can be a tabular form, anything. Okay, so that information is to be converted into paragraph. You will just pick up those points and convert it into a paragraph. Most important, after you complete your paragraph, do not forget to give it a title. So giving a title is a must. So that is how you are going to do that. Now when we are to convert the information from verbal to non-verbal, right? That means the paragraph is given and that is to be converted into diagram form. So the students are expected to transfer the given information from a paragraph to the non-verbal format that is given in the question. Like which format you have to convert the information, that will be given in the question only, children. Okay, like it is to be converted into a web diagram or a flow chart or a tabular form. It will be mentioned in the question paper. So you have to read the paragraph and convert that information into that form, whatever is mentioned in the question. For this, the student needs to do this question very properly, children. You need to keep certain points in mind, and those points are: read the paragraph very carefully, sort out important points. After sorting those points, incorporate those points in the given format, whatever format has been asked, incorporate those points over there. Use pencil to draw, right? Whatever diagram you are doing it, use a pencil to draw, but write answers using a pen. Not to add their own points to the information. Now these are certain points which you need to be very careful while doing this practice, children. Okay, let's understand the marking scheme. First, verbal to non-verbal. Title carries 1 mark. Covering all the points will carry 2 marks. Appropriate graphics or layout carries 1 mark, and overall presentation also carries 1 mark. That is verbal to non-verbal, which is in the paragraph format. Second type, non-verbal to verbal. Here also title carries 1 mark. Use of given points, how you are making it into a paragraph, that is 2 points. 2 marks, sorry. Grammar will carry 1 mark, and appropriate language and conclusion will also carry 1 mark, children. Okay. So we'll wait here for a break of a minute, children. After that we shall see some specimens. Yes class. Now we have understood what is verbal to non-verbal and non-verbal to verbal information, transferring of such an information. Okay. Now let's see the specimen of both. Okay. Now look at this chart, children. The information transfer, question given is transfer the given information into paragraph. Now here the information is given to you in the flowchart form, okay, and the topic is manufacture of paper. Read the points. Raw materials: wood, grass, bamboo, rags, cut into pieces and immersed in water and made into a pulp. The next step is mixed with lime for whitening, and pulp is boiled and pressed through wire meshes. Next point, wet paper, and the last one is passed over heated roller and thin sheets of paper is made. Now here the information is given to us in a flowchart form. Now we have to convert it into a paragraph. So let's see that. Your answer comes as, paper is chiefly used for writing. Okay. The raw material used in the manufacturing of paper is wood, grass, bamboo and rags. There are several processes by which the raw material is converted into pulp. Most commonly, the raw material is cut into pieces and then immersed in water to convert it into pulp. The pulp is then mixed with lime for whitening it. This pulp and lime mixture is boiled at high pressure. The pulp is next passed through wire meshes. The paper sheets are removed from the meshes while it is still wet. These wet sheets are passed over heated rollers to remove the water, and paper is dried so as to make a thin sheets of paper. So this was an example of non-verbal to verbal, children. Now verbal to non-verbal. Verbal means here the paragraph is given. Let's read the question. Here are some tips about keeping healthy as given in Science magazine. Read and write the form of do's and don'ts table. That means this information has to be converted into a tabular form which says do's and don'ts. You must include vegetables and fruits in your diet and drink lot of water. You should avoid junk food and aerated water. You shouldn't sit for long periods of time. Rather, you should exercise regularly. You shouldn't ignore the importance of good breathing habits. Try breathing deeply whenever you think of it. See to it that you sleep for at least 7 hours a day. In fact, you should avoid irregular timings of sleep. Now, let's see how to put this information. It's just into a verbal to non-verbal in the tabular form. Do's: include vegetable and fruit in your diet, drink plenty of water, exercise regularly, try breathing deeply when possible, sleep at least for 7 hours a day. Don't consume junk, unhealthy food, especially street food. Don't drink aerated water. Don't sit for lengthy period of time. Don't ignore the importance of good breathing, and don't sleep at irregular times. So this is how the information is converted into non-verbal form, children. I hope you all have understood. Please note these specimens in your notebook. Thank you.